Abraham was a traveler. God tells him to leave his hometown, his father's house, and he has to travel. Then he comes to Israel, and eventually the Torah says Abraham traveled to the south. What's the significance of the Torah telling us that he went to the south? So Rashi, the great commentator of the Torah, says that Abraham was going in the direction of Jerusalem, which was in the section of Israel that would later on be given to the tribe of Yehuda, Judah, and he was going towards Har HaMoriah, the mountain that ultimately the Holy Temple would be built on. Why is that relevant? Why do we have to know that he traveled southward to Jerusalem, and Jerusalem happens to be in the section of the land of Israel that would later on, hundreds of years later, be apportioned to the tribe of Yehuda, and that he was also going towards the mountain Har HaMoriah. And then Rashi also says that the language the Torah uses suggests that he traveled intermittently. In other words, he would travel a little, rest, then travel a little bit more in increments. Why is that relevant? What is that trying to tell us? Because we know that everything that happened with the patriarchs is a lesson for us. Abraham traveled, but his traveling was not just going from one place to another to find a better place to live. Abraham recognized that he had a goal, that he, the progenitor of a nation that would be charged with a mission to make this world a divine dwelling place for God, that he was the one who had to initiate that process. So what does he do? He travels south. Why south? Because that was the direction of Jerusalem. And what is so special about Jerusalem? It was the city in which the temple would be built on Har HaMoriah, Mount Moriah. So Abraham's whole journeying had one objective, and that it was in the section of Israel that belongs to Yehuda. Why Yehuda? Why that section? Because Yehuda is the ancestor of King David, and King David is the ancestor of Moshiach. That ultimately, what is Abraham's plan? What was his mission? What was his approach? I am traveling, and I want my children to know which direction I'm going. I am going south because that takes me to Jerusalem. That takes me to the building of the temple. That takes me to Moshiach, who will bring the world to its ultimate goal and its ultimate fulfillment. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to go through thousands of years of stops in different places. Some of these stops were very painful, were very, very sorrowful. The Jews were persecuted. But wherever we stopped, we picked up treasures. Sometimes the treasures were picked up in a place where things were very positive. Sometimes the treasures we got because of the negativity. We exhibited tremendous self-sacrifice. But ultimately, every stop on the way in the last 3,700 years since Abraham has been a journey, an inexorable journey that leads us to the ultimate goal of rebuilding the Beis HaMikdash, the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, by Moshiach, by the Moshiach himself. May we all soon experience the fulfillment of Abraham's initial journey and travel towards the Beis HaMikdash under the direction and leadership of Moshiach.